The Mystic River Watershed Association is working with cities and towns across the watershed to plant trees, helping provide clean air, shade, and other benefits to our communities. If you're interested in helping us plant trees or want to plant your own, here's what you need to know. Before you dig, make sure that you've determined the right tree for the right place. You can find this information by calling your local tree warden for specific questions, or you can check out the Trees page on MyRWA's website to access the tree list and planting guidebook provided by the City of Malden. When you have chosen your spot to plant, mark it with a white flag, a stake, or with white paint. If you're planting the tree yourself, you should call 811 to submit a dig safe ticket before you excavate, and check your state guidelines on digging. Keep in mind that once your ticket is cleared, you will have 30 days to plant your tree. You will need the following tools to plant your tree. If you are planting with us, these tools will be provided. If you're planting on your own, they can be found at your local hardware or garden store. Trees may arrive in different ways from the nursery. Your tree might come in a container, balled and burlapped, or as a bare root sapling. You'll need to prepare these trees in slightly different ways, but the basic principles are the same. If your trees need to be stored, they should be kept in cool, shaded areas and can be covered with straw to protect from freezing temperatures. Now it's time to plant your tree. Proper planting technique is key to a tree's long-term survival. You can damage young trees through improper planting, which can be difficult and expensive to fix. It can also be helpful to plant with a partner. To start, measure the size of the root ball's height and width. Now it's time to get digging. Your hole should be 2 to 3 times the width of the root ball. If possible, try to ensure that the top of the hole is wider than the bottom. This helps to accommodate for the way that tree roots grow. Next, prepare the root ball for planting by carefully exposing the root or trunk flare. This is the part of the tree where the trunk transitions to the root system. You should loosen the root ball if necessary, prune away any adventurous roots, and then arrange the roots to grow outwards. Be especially careful when handling the roots, as they can be very fragile. Now, position the tree in the hole and check the depth. The trunk flare should be at the same height as the flat ground. You can use a measuring stick or a shovel handle or any other straight object to ensure that the hole is at the right depth. Once the tree is in place and at the proper depth, backfill the hole layer by layer, watering as you go. While you fill in the hole, carefully poke at the backfilled soil with a shovel or a stick to help release any air pockets in the soil. You can also do this with your hands. Once the tree is firmly in the ground, you'll want to support the trunk by adding stakes. Use a post driver to drive the stakes into the ground on either side of the tree, and then use arbor tie, hemp rope, or fabric straps to loosely fasten the trunk to the stakes and hold the tree in place. All bare root trees must be staked, and you should leave the tree supports in place for 1 to 2 growing seasons until the roots are established. Adding mulch around the tree helps the tree retain moisture and subdues weeds. It also adds organic matter to the soil to feed the tree as it grows. Mulch should be spread 2 to 3 inches deep around the tree and kept a few inches from the root flare. It is important not to bury the bottom of the tree in mulch because that can damage the bark and the root system. Finally, you'll need to water your tree to help it survive its first few years. Newly planted trees need about 10 to 15 gallons of water per inch in diameter of the trunk and should be watered every week from the beginning of spring when the ground thaws to the end of fall when the ground freezes. Trees are impacted by extreme heat, just like people. Keep an eye out for heat advisories and double your watering when it's very hot out. Remember, if you're hot, the trees are hot too. Tree gator bags are a simple way to make sure that your tree stays watered. To use them, just fill the bag once or twice per week. You can also simply use a garden hose to gently soak the soil for 5 to 10 minutes. From data collected by community members, we have confirmed an unsurprising fact. The hottest parts of our watershed are also the ones with the least tree cover and the least open space. The Mystic River Watershed Association is working to increase tree canopy and shade in our hottest neighborhoods, collaborating with residents and city staff to decide where to plant trees and building capacity in these communities through education and planting workshops. You can get involved by visiting mysticriver.org. Every tree planted makes a difference locally toward resilience in the face of a changing climate.